So, figured I'd do a video. I'm getting ready to cut up this parts car and move it into scrap. But I got the floor pan and the firewall is out of it. Give you an idea. Depends on what pieces you need. But it's a matter of just drilling out all the spot welds. This cross member has to stay as far as in my car. You don't need to take it out. So I use drill bits and I drilled through all the spot welds versus trying to cut them. Some of them I use a spot weld remover on whatever pieces I need a back to be able to weld. I end up cutting some of this out and I end up redoing the repair on my car. And then the new Formula 350, I'll use a small piece out of that. But it's not too hard. It wasn't easy, but I think it's better than doing a whole bunch of patch panels. As far as I took out the firewall and the toe board, and the bucket itself is out as one assembly. Once you have all the spot welds out, you can come forward and then come out. You got to try, because the bucket itself kind of goes through there. So you can finagle it out as one piece. Then I'll just do the same way of putting it in there. You might have to bend a little bit of metal, but you can always bend the metal back to make it easier to go in. But not too hard. There it is as one unit. And we got all the spot welds that hold it to the frame rail. All the spot welds on the top. That's where it hooks onto that C-channel cross brace. And then you got all the ones along there. Some of them are hidden. I use a wire wheel on it just to be able to see them. And then some of them kind of stick out, so you know what to do. But there's got spot welds on the side. But then on the other side over there. So at least that gives me one solid piece and it's not rusted. I can do a couple of little patch panels once it's actually in the car. But the floor came out. If you're doing the whole floor pan itself, then you can just bring it out the back window. I did it by myself. I just grabbed the back of it and slid it out the rear window. It won't come out the front. There's not enough room. So you just move the floor forward up against the firewall, then up and out through the back window. I took the floor out first, and then I did the firewall. Then you got where all the spot welds are for the frame rail. You just kind of followed it along. There's two or three straight welds the factory does to hold the floor pan to the toe board. I ended up cutting around it just because that piece was rusted, and I'll just make another piece and weld it on there. But the hardest part was doing underneath it, because that section right there, you got to drill out the spot welds on the bottom. I ended up just lifting the car up in the air with the hoist in the front, get underneath it, drill them all out, and then finish going from there. Then that piece I cut out because it was rusted. I make another one once it's in there, and then just weld it all back together. That side brace has to come out. It goes right there. It actually bolts again, or is spot welded against the side of the car. You got to drill out all the spot welds and then pull it out. I ended up wiggling it because it's got 3 straight welds on the bottom. They end up ripping the floor pan, but it just gives you a hole to be able to weld it to the frame rail. So, not too hard. That's it for that video. At least now I got the parts that I need.